other parts of world mostly uncivilized. Remember, I am drawing this map roughly, and around 3000 years ago, what was the situation that is shown over here? Important parts of Jerusalem here. This part was also civilized. But later on, certain other parts get civilized. Around 2800 years ago, the Greece was civilized. Parts of Roman Empire, Roman part, they got civilized. And slowly civilization spread out in Europe. But that was not to the north of this. This world was nomadic world. Different tribes were settled out here. They were wandering here and there, usually there only. For example, here, a tribe named as Yungnu. Whatever the present Mongolia is there, in this present Mongolia, this tribe was mostly there, that is called as Yungnu. Here, towards this China part, there was another tribe named Yuchi. Then, this portion was called as Scythia. So, people over here, they were called as Scythian, but they were wandering from this area. There was no fixed area. They were having this type of their wandering areas. Now here, some people were there, they were called as Vandals. Again, when I am saying Vandal, it sounds something different. One fantastic person is there in India, was there in India actually, named as P.N. Oak. He gave different ideas in history. According to him, the world was having language as Sanskrit in those days. I can't believe. But he said, yes, this what we are calling Caspian Sea, that must be Kashyapiya Samudra. Same way, I can say this way, Vandal, I can write in Devanagari as Vana. This I can pronounce as Van, and Dal I can pronounce as Dal. Now, Vana, that is forest, and Dala, troops. The forest troops, like that translation is there. You are getting matching something, and literally meaning is same. Now here, this type of people, Vandals, then Goth, they were there here. Like that, tribal people were wandering here and there. Till somewhere around 2400 years ago, they were having certain routines. Say for example, the Scythians, usually Scythians used to attack on this Greece part. Because Greece was civilized, Scythians were uncivilized or not that civilized. The Scythians were carrying out invasion on this territory, civilized world, and they were getting their daily requirement from this attack. Again, these Yungnus, they were attacking on China in order to get their daily needs, food and what other things. But that's why China was continuously troubled. But India was safe. These tribals were kept outside only. In order to get entry in India, one must cross this barrier of Himalayas. Whereas for China, no such Himalaya was there at north side. South side it is there, and they occupied it. But towards north side, it was not there. And that's why ultimately Chinese people constructed their own Himalaya, that is the Great Wall of China. I am not going down on this topic right now. So just explaining, this type of world was divided. It was divided into nomadic part and civilized part. Now, somewhere in that era only, in Persia, one religion was established. That religion was established by a person named as Zarathustra. I am revising name, named as Zarathustra. But this Zarathustra word was not pronounced properly by Britishers. They are calling them as Zoroaster. And therefore the religion is called as Zoroastrian religion. That commonly we are calling in Mumbai these people as Parsi people. So that is Zoroastrian religion. Actually the word is there that is called as Zarathustra. That was pronounced as Zoroaster. After establishment of this religion, slowly and steadily the Persian territory united together. What name? Persia, that is given by Greek invaders. But according to their own ideology, their name was something, I am removing this part here, this was called as Pars. In Devanagari I can write this way, Pars. So this was their name of the territory. Greeks pronounced this territory as Persia in latter phase. Now unification of this Pars was carried out and empire building was carried out under leadership of a dynasty that is called as Hakhamani dynasty. And this way they formed first empire over here. Their name of emperors were something like Darius I, Cyrus I, Darius II, Cyrus II, like that. So this Darius united and this Hakhamani, they united the Pars territory and then they further invaded other territories also. Now before that I have to talk of this Assyrian empire also. This Assyrian empire was also very ancient empire. The name of emperor of this civilization, they are mentioned as Asur Mahipal, Asur Banipal, Asur Nisarpal, like that. This is Asur culture, as we are calling in Sanskrit as Asur. Whether the Asur category belong to this part, but the same references are there in Bible also. They are calling that empire as Asur empire. Even in Persian religion, that is Zoroastrian, their god is named as Ahura Mazda. Now keep in mind, many times in foreign language, particularly in Persian language, they confuse between sa and ha. The pronunciation of sa and pronunciation of ha. Instead of pronouncing sa, they are pronouncing ha. May be possible because of that they are calling Ahura Mazda. Just change out pronunciation as ha to sa, you are getting Asur Mazda. So this word you may get here, that is because of this Asur empire. Later on this Asur shifted towards south part and formed their empire at Babylonia also. It is mentioned in various books that these Asurs were behaving very brutally with the conquered one. Once they acquired land, they were treating the people with very bad manners, and that's why maybe possible we are calling that as Asur. The word is similar in England or English language. The word is used that is called as vandalism. Something like that vandalism, the word is there in our culture as of Asur. So this part of Assyria that was there. Now Persian empire included that part also, and this empire flourished. To the surprise, in Indian language and Persian language or Persian language, tremendous similarities are there. Particularly in Sanskrit and Persian language, we got various similarities. You are aware that a certain suffix and prefix are used in Sanskrit. Somewhat similar prefix and suffix they are used in Persian language. Many times, say for example, I am calling sun in Sanskrit. Sun is called as Surya, Mitra. In Persian language, sun is called as Mitra. Say pronunciation wise very little different, Mitra and Mitra. So like that we are having similarity. Again, what territory I call this? This is called as Punjab. Now I can write this way, Sanskrit word Pancha. Persian word, I am writing in Devanagari. Sanskrit word pancha. In Roman I can write this way, pancha. Whereas Persian word for this is panja. So I can write this way. That stands for 5. Sanskrit word also having meaning same, and this also is having meaning same. Same way, Sanskrit word aap. Persian word ab. Meaning, again, see, this is water, this is also water. But this is usually we are using as river. And this is, we are considering akashat patitam toyam. That means the water which is falling from sky. Say, water that is falling from sky, that is pure. That is not having any contamination of salt. Only carbon dioxide and certain other gases are dissolved. But salt contamination is not there. So this is ap. Akashat for that a, patitam po. So taking initial, the word is made ap. So pancha ap, that can be considered as panja ab, that is Punjab. Or simply in Sanskrit this territory was known as Pancha Nada. Nada, you are aware that river is called as Nadi in Sanskrit. But if huge river is there, it is called as Nad. So here extreme plain part is there and rivers are very huge. So that's why this territory was called as Pancha Nada. That is area of 5 rivers. So this way we are getting continuously here similarity between what language used over Persia and what language used in India. Now, Sanskrit, ancient Sanskrit, particularly the Vedic Sanskrit, those who are having certain knowledge, they are aware that Vedas are created first, then Puranas. So here the Veda knowledge, that is Vedic literature, that is there in Sanskrit, that is something different Sanskrit, we are calling that as Vedic Sanskrit. And whatever Sanskrit used in Puran or even day-to-day life, that Sanskrit is something different, that is called as Laukika Sanskrit. So Vedic Sanskrit is having considerable similarity between ancient Persian language. And so we are calling there is similarity between this language and this language. Is it possible that people from Persia entered in India or people from India entered in Persia? We have to check. In order to study ancient what was there in India, what was the Indian civilization, a person entered in India during British rule named as Max Muller. He studied out Indian literature. At age of 25, around 25, he came to India. He learned Sanskrit language, Vedic Sanskrit also, and then he got surprised. Vast knowledge is there in Sanskrit, particularly Vedas and Upanishad. And then he got surprised that what we are calling third world, that is India, that Indian culture is so great. How it is possible? Present day people are not intelligent as these people. And so he put forward a theory that somebody must came from outside the India to India. And these people must have enlightened India in those days. He called these people as Aryans because he got reference of Aryans in this ancient literature. For example, in Rigveda only. Rigveda is first Ved. In Rigveda, he got evidence Krudvanto Vishwam Aryam. I am revising the word sentence Krudvanto Vishwam Aryam. That is, let us make this Vishwa. Vishwa means universe. Nobel. Arya. He says, let us make this universe Aryan. So this way he got word Aryan. That Aryan word was also popular in Europe, particularly Germany, Greece, etc. these people are also having concept of Aryans. You are aware that Hitler was considering himself as pure Nordic Aryan. Max Muller was also originally German. Then he settled out in England and then entered in India. So he was also aware of word Aryan. And so he considered a people or clan of people, they are calling Aryan, they must have came from same origin. Most probably they concluded somewhere around Caucasus mountain range. From Caucasus, one branch of Aryan visited Europe, another branch via Iran, via Khyber Pass, they entered in India. So this way he put forward a concept of or theory of Aryan invention. Somewhere around 3000 years ago, the Aryan invention happened in India, and then they spread out Aryan culture in India. And that's why Indian language and foreign language, particularly Western languages, they are having tremendous similarities. You can check out. Say, I am saying word as father. Father word is used in England. In Persian language, the word used is pidar. In Sanskrit, we are calling the word as pitru, but pitru is the original word. When we are using it, it is used usually as pitar. So, in form of pitar. So, pitara, pidara and father having considerable similarity. Same way, you can check out various words. They are having only corrupted form of one and other language. And that's why they call that Aryan must have entered in India, and that's why Europe to India, the language used is having considerable similarity. We are calling that family of language is of Indo-European family of language. Okay, let me verify, clarify. Now, Indo-European languages are used here as south till Maharashtra. Then Orissa in Chhattisgarh. This is the boundary. Suppose you are going south of Orissa, south of Chhattisgarh or south of Maharashtra. The languages used, they are different. They are in, we are calling as Dravidian family of language. Whereas this portion, we are using Indo-European family of language. Now my mother tongue is Marathi, that is from Maharashtra. I can understand Gujarati language. I can understand Sindhi. At least what topic the people are discussing. I can understand little bit Punjabi, little bit Rajasthani or Hindi, Pahadi, like that. At least I can guess what is the topic they are discussing on. Even Bengali, I can understand only the discussion topic, not entirely. But suppose I am listening to Kannada people, unless and until they are not speaking English word, I am not able to get what they are speaking. Suppose they are saying 2 times or 3 times they are taking my name. I am not able to realize that what for what purpose they are taking my name, whether they are praising me or they are blaming me or something. Same way in Tamil language or Malayalam language or Telugu language, we are having different language, and therefore no doubt Karnataka and Maharashtra, they are neighboring states, but still language difference is too much. Whereas Gujarat and Maharashtra, they are neighboring state, but language similarity is there, and that's why we are having a concept that we are calling Indo-European language. Now these all Marathi, Gujarati, etc., these languages, they are going in Indo-European language category, whereas Kannada, Telugu, then Tamil and Malayalam, these languages are going into Dravidian category of Dravidian family languages, and that's why we are having differences. Okay. Now again concept is there the Aryan invention concept was put forward by this person, Max Muller. According to him, somewhere 3000 years ago, these Aryan people must have entered in India, and then they from Caucasus mountain range, they came to Hindu Kush, then they crossed out Khyber Pass and settled out in the plains of Punjab, where the river part is there. There are 7 rivers. We are having continuous reference of these 7 rivers. I am taking name of these 7 rivers: Jhelum, Satluj, Ravi, Chenab and Beas. 5 rivers. They are tributaries of river Indus. Then 6th one is river Indus, and 7th one, one is there from Kabul. That river is coming as Kubha, named as Kubha in those days. So maybe possible Kubha, or another evidence is there that there must be presence of river Saraswati in this territory. So either Saraswati or Kubha, but this we are calling this territory as 7 rivers territory, that is mentioned as Sapta Sindhu. Now, earlier Vedic literature, particularly Rigveda, the first Ved, that is consisting of many references from this Sapta Sindhu, and that's why we are having concept that Aryan settlements were carried out first in this Sapta Sindhu. Then onwards, these Aryans start entering in Gangetic Valley and ultimately Gangetic Plain, and ultimately they spread out over northern part of India, that was called as Aryavarta. Now, what was there prior to Aryans? There were Indians, yes. They were called as Dravidians. Mostly these Dravidian people were there in northern part of India. They were pushed back because of Aryan invention. They get pushed towards south side, and ultimately their culture is flourished only towards in southern part of India. Northern part was there in hands of Aryan. Still we have certain people here, particularly in Baluchistan. Certain zones are there. The people in this territory, they are speaking out Dravidian language that resembles to Tamil language, and like that concepts are there. So before Aryan invention, there were Dravids in India. There's Dravids, or in European language, these people are called as Druid. So either Dravid or Druid, these people were there. These Dravids entered in India. Again, keep in mind, if you are considering you are Dravidian and therefore you are perfect Indian, no. Dravidians also came from outside India. They came from Baluchistan territory, and they settled out slowly and they stabilized their culture in India. Before arrival of Dravidians, there were Austric people. So like that, India, who is the native, it's very difficult to guess. There were Austric, then Dravidians, and then Aryans. So like that, invaders visited and occupied India.